Have you ever cried during a movie while everyone else sat quietly? Or felt emotional when a stranger showed kindness to someone in need? Maybe you've had to look away from a video because it hit you too hard. Or found yourself tearing up during a goodbye, a reunion, a wedding, or even a song you've heard 100 times before. And every time it happens, the same questions appear. Why am I reacting so strongly? Why doesn't this affect other people the same way? If you've ever wondered that, you're not alone. And psychology has a fascinating answer. Many people who cry easily grow up hearing the same messages. You're too sensitive. Don't be so emotional. You're overreacting. After hearing these things enough times, many begin to believe something is wrong with them. They start seeing their emotions as a weakness instead of a normal human response. So they begin hiding their feelings, apologizing for crying, and holding back tears. Some even become frustrated with themselves and quietly think, I wish I wasn't like this. But what if the problem isn't that you feel too much? What if the real problem is how we've been taught to view emotions? Psychologists have found that some people naturally process emotional information more deeply than others. Their brains don't simply notice emotions, they absorb them. When most people witness an emotional moment, they understand it. When highly sensitive people witness the same moment, they often experience part of that emotion themselves. They don't just observe emotional experiences, they emotionally step into them. Imagine watching a scene where a lonely elderly person receives an unexpected act of kindness. Someone offers help, someone remembers them, someone makes them feel seen. Most viewers recognize the moment as touching, but some people immediately begin imagining the person's life. The loneliness, the gratitude, the relief, the years behind that moment. Instead of seeing a simple interaction, they see an entire human story. And that emotional experience becomes much larger. When emotions become larger, tears become more likely. Not because someone is weak, but because the emotional meaning feels stronger. This is often connected to empathy. Some people naturally feel other people's emotions more intensely. When someone else feels joy, they feel some of that joy. When someone else feels pain, they feel some of that pain too. Their emotional boundaries are naturally thinner, and that can make the world feel both beautiful and exhausting. Because being emotionally sensitive isn't always easy. Many people who cry easily absorb emotions everywhere they go. They absorb tension during conversations. They absorb sadness from friends. They absorb stress from environments without even realizing it. By the end of the day, they're carrying emotions that don't entirely belong to them, and that emotional weight slowly builds up. This is why many sensitive people feel emotionally exhausted without understanding why. They're constantly processing more emotional information than the average person. The problem isn't weakness. The problem is emotional overload. So what can you do if this sounds like you? The first step is to stop treating every tear as a problem. Crying is not automatically a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it's simply how your mind releases and processes emotion. The second step is learning emotional boundaries, a skill many sensitive people were never taught. Just because you can feel someone else's pain doesn't mean you have to carry it home with you. You can care without caring. Empathy is healthy. Absorbing everyone's emotions is not. There's a difference. The third step is creating recovery time. Highly sensitive people often need more quiet moments than others. Not because they're weak, not because they're fragile, but because they're processing more emotional information throughout the day. Think of it like a phone running too many apps at once. Eventually, the battery starts draining faster. The solution isn't to throw the phone away. The solution is to recharge it. Your mind works the same way. Quiet walks, journaling, music, reading, time alone. These moments help your emotional system recover. Here's what most people never realize. The same trait that makes you cry more easily often creates some of your greatest strengths. It can make you more compassionate, more understanding, more aware of what others are feeling. You notice emotional details that many people miss. Small changes in tone, unspoken sadness, hidden struggles. You feel things others overlook, and that ability can help you connect with people on a deeper level. Yes, emotional sensitivity can sometimes feel overwhelming, but it can also make you kinder, wiser, and more human. So the next time tears appear during a movie, a conversation, or a simple act of kindness, don't immediately ask, "What's wrong with me?" Try asking a different question. What am I noticing that others might not be? Because sometimes crying isn't evidence that you're weak. It's evidence that you're paying attention. It's evidence that you're connected, that you care, that you feel. And in a world that often encourages people to feel less, Those qualities are far more valuable than most people realize. So if you cry at things others don't be ashamed of it. It may simply mean you're experiencing the emotional depth of life in a way that many people never do.
Stop chasing motivation. Start understanding your mind. Subscribe to Inner Violet and learn how to think, not just react.